Connection with Shade Network activated. Audio file download commencing. Files marked extremely sensitive. Strategic Homeland Division only. Agent commencing transmission.
What's up, agents? You listen to episode 185 of SITREP Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of the Division 2. This week we get news on the holiday event that was hyped up on Twitter, plus some other things. But first, my name's Mike. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Robert.
Hello.
You sound a little bit tipsy, Rob.
No, I've got a bit of a cold.
It's not the wine, then.
No.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. And we have Luke with us today.
I just want to ask Rob, is the wine medicinal, or is it just for
He's celebrating.
standard Wednesday?
Celebrating. Stay at the game.
Or what, they turned up so you thought you'd have a drink?
Yeah. Any excuse, eh?
Medicinal. Fucking hell. I hope you guys and our listeners have had a great week, and welcome to any new listeners of the show. First off, good week, lads. Good week, lads. How's it been over last week? I haven't really spoken to you guys since last week.
I mean, I got a cold. That sucked.
I've been ill most of this week so far.
I've been fine, by the way.
Oh, okay. Any division this week?
No.
Sad day.
Did you play it, Mike?
No, I didn't.
You've been playing Star Wars, haven't you?
Just a little bit, but that's a different topic. However, hopefully the news today will get us back into the game, which is what we've kind of been waiting for. So let's get down to some news.
State of the game.
Okay, so today's state of the game, Hamish was joined by Yannick and Drew to discuss a couple of things. First up, the title update 7 and episode 3 and the raid will be released in 2020. Most of all, we kind of know that, but there was no confirmation date, I believe, for the raid at all. They basically said they're not even sure if it's going to drop with TU7. Is that correct? Because I think that's what everyone's kind of assuming at this moment in time. But pass. Any ideas, boys?
I mean, it would make sense for them to do it. But if it's not ready, it's not ready.
But how long do you need at that point? It's a bit worrying, isn't it? When did we get the last raid? It was May 25th, something like that.
That's a good memory if you remember an exact date.
Yeah, because I remember I went to Crawley for that week, the week of the raid, around then, someone.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. Also, some of the updates that they talked about today, or things that they're working on for the future, isn't either guaranteed to be dropping in title update 7, because that's mainly the DLC, I believe, which is
episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3. We're going back to New York. Next week's State of the Game is just going to be a discussion of 6.1 that's going to be releasing next Tuesday, which kind of came as a bit of a surprise. Kind of came out of nowhere, especially when we weren't supposed to have a State of the Game till 2020. But let's get some things out of the way first.
Excuse me.
There is no survival or underground in the Division 2, and as far as they know, it will not be returning anytime soon.
Woohoo!
Luke, thoughts on that? We've got Rob's, that'll do.
I couldn't give two fucks about Underground, but it's kind of a shame that Survival's not coming back. But I mean, Amper Camper told us 2 weeks ago, didn't it? Well, was it 2 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? It was just nice to have some confirmation, but I wish Drew would have not gone.
Yeah, no, he did the whole like Yannick was like, yeah, we're not doing it. And then Drew was like,
well,
but we might. we're not saying no, but yeah.
That's
I have
that's
seen
the
that as
faint
like
glimmer of hope that the community's been holding on for the whole time. That Yannick breezes in like, no, we're not doing it, and then literally 5 seconds of peace where people are like, okay, so we're not getting it, and then Drew's like, well, maybe. He's coming. Survival's coming.
He was
Everybody lose their fucking mind.
He was obviously looking at chat when Yannick was talking.
I think it's just a case of like not rule. They don't want to rule it out, do they?
No,
they literally don't want to rule it out.
They said they're going
at
to
all.
use. They might reuse some of the aspects from game modes in other things.
I actually disagree with you, Mike. I think they should rule it out. If they're not planning on doing
100%.
it.
I completely agree. We've been sat here for like, I don't know how many fucking episodes talking about survival in the past in the Division 2. I don't think they should bring it back. We've all said before that we want to see new content. Now, I'm cool with the idea if you want to take bits of mechanics and aspects from Underground, like the procedural side of it, or the looting and survival aspects, and put it into something else. But I don't want to see that again. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see those modes return, sort of thing.
Okay.
But I do kind of agree. I wish they'd kind of just left it as, yeah, it's not coming. But going off because I've seen a few people complain about this on Twitter, like, being honest, I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt that today, they took the state of the game away and they've brought it back after saying it's going to go away till 2020. And the one thing that they said that they were going to do was work on transparency. And they even openly admitted it today on the state of the game that it's something they need to work on going forward. And I thought they were being pretty open and honest that they haven't got everything right with the Division 2. There's stuff that needs working on, like PvP, the loot aspect, stuff that they don't talk about every week, which we wanted to talk about. And then they straight up was like, no, we're not bringing back the survival or the Underground. And then you kind of backhanded it slightly at the end, but at least they were more honest and straight up front than I felt like they've been in a long time with us with this state of the game. I don't know how you feel, Luke, honestly.
I agree. It was quite a good state of the game, and I think Drew did a very good job at sort of being. I don't want to discount his contribution to the state of the game, but he was a very good backup to Yannick, because as good as Yannick is on state of the game, because obviously he's got the experience of doing it, he does sometimes struggle to get his message across. He seems to get easily distracted by chat and joking with Hamish and whatever, and their chemistry that we spoke about before. And Drew was kind of just there, like, straight to the point, apart from the criticism we've slightly given him about, we might bring survival back if you ask nicely, sort of comment. But the rest of it, I thought he was really, really good.
The state of the game today was it reminded me of the state of the games we used to get
with Hamish and Yannick.
Well, no, not just because they were both on it, but like it felt like they're having a discussion.
Yeah.
Rather than just giving us news.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to see kind of going forward. And we want to see more discussions about the things that they want to change in the future, and not just be like, here's all the stuff that's coming up in the future. We want to hear like the discussions behind it and like the lead up to it as well. One of the main factors that they did say, they're about loot progression and PvP. And they openly said, again, everything by the sounds of it that was done in TU6 was a short-term fix to certain problems with the game. And we're going to get additional fixes or complete reworking of certain mechanics in the game to make it better going forward. And it's something that they want to work on. And I'm looking forward to what that happens, how that's going to come to fruition with the Division in the future. But it's just nice for them to just openly be like, yeah, these things are problems and we need to sort them out. People are hard at work doing it, so just kind of give us a bit of time. And they also, I believe they brought up the roadmap as well. They're going to try and bring up soon, but they didn't want to talk about it today, funny enough. They're on about a development roadmap yet again that we still haven't seen. I don't know if you boys caught that.
I didn't hear them talk about that, actually. I have listened to most of State of the Game back. I think I tuned down just as Hamish started talking about agent highlights. So,
but it's something they do. I feel like they do really well in Destiny. They kind of give is it a 3-month timeline on stuff that they want to work on, and kind of the rough estimate of rollout schedule behind it, or at least update wise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they put out infographics each season with the scheduled dates for each thing that's going to happen.
Well, I think it might have been last year that they were talking about a development roadmap with Bungie and stuff, because they were still in a health mode, weren't they?
Yeah, they were trying to fix the game. It's kind of fixed now, so
yeah. But yeah, good things in the future, hopefully. And there's a lot to come, going off what they've said.
Yeah, they kept hinting at we're working on other stuff that's going to be coming in the future.
They were about modes as well, weren't they? I don't know if you picked up on that, Luke, but they kept bringing up underground survival, but we've got other stuff, other modes that we're going to be working on that's going to be coming to the game. And so far for
baby.
Yeah, the third DLC at the minute, it's potentially just 2 missions going off what is kind of leaked. Suddenly, I say leaked, but all we know at the minute from
2 missions, new specialization, and maybe a different modifier for Kenner College. That would be my guess.
And probably not the raid.
No. Maybe 6 weeks later.
Well, yeah, it depends when this next update for loot and all the rest.
No, it's just for a financial, because when they put patches out, if anything goes wrong with TU7 episode DLC, 3,
yeah,
give them 6 weeks to try and remedy that. Then they can put a client patch out, because obviously PlayStation and Xbox, they have to get shit approved, and there's a process.
Well, plus we're probably going to get a PTS for TU7, depending on what changes with that. Anyway,
I hope not.
If there is, anyway, because they're just going to drop TU6.1 next week, because that's adding some things. It's going to fix some things as well, but I mean none of that's even gone.
I don't think they'll do a PTS for episode 3.
Well, they don't need to for the content, but it depends what changes. If there's many changes, if any, coming in TU7, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, if they're doing sandbox, I don't think they'll do any sandbox changes.
The one thing that did catch my ear whilst I was watching it today is obviously they talked about loot, they talked about PvP, but they talked about what is the point in playing at the minute? Where's the incentive to chase the loot, chase builds and stuff like that? And it sounds like that is something that they're definitely working on at the minute. And it's quite interesting that I feel like the whole community at the minute is kind of apart from certain things in the game or certain builds or gear pieces that you don't have, where is the incentive to play? And if that's one of the things that they're trying to hit on the head next year straight away, that would be really interesting to me to see where they go with that. I just hope it's not in the form of, I'm going to be honest, I hope it's not in the form of a GE and an optimization station. Any thoughts on that, Luke?
I mean, we all know my thoughts on the optimization station, but I didn't hear them mention those 2 words specifically, but they did talk about recalibration and maybe that being a route that would help improve the RNG of the loot systems, etc., etc. So
I gotta agree, this probably about time, isn't it? I'm pretty sure we were all against it maybe about 6 months ago, but I think if you have the opportunity to roll maybe a talent and an attribute on a piece of gear now, it might open things up. But then it's not fixing the main problem, is it?
Problem is you can't create a perfect build.
No. Because you're dealing with the pie system. Is that right?
No, not well, that is a factor, but just RNG. You could, if you spent literally millions of hours in the game, but even then, the chance of you getting perfect rolls on everything It's very low.
Yeah, I was just thinking that was kind of funny because we played an event in the Division 1. We played the GE in the Division 1 to get basically perfected gear, but then we had to like adjust the attributes and all the rest of it. But imagine if you could just do something like a GE or an event and you just buy the gear. You don't need to muck around with it at all. Because effectively all the optimization station was just maxing out that gear anyway, so you'd just be missing a step. I'm just thinking like they've probably got something like that in a different RPG or MMO out there, something like Star Wars or I'm pretty sure they got something like that in Destiny.
What's
where
that?
you can buy certain gear pieces that are, I'm guessing, pre-rolled, but like they're perfected.
No.
What am I thinking of? Unless it's like Elder Scrolls or World of Warcraft.
Bungie does have what do they call it? Shit. Curated roles for certain things, but there are the RNG whether you drop them or not.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it, having something to chase after. At the minute, I was looking forward to the raid.
I think everybody was.
Yeah, but at the minute, no one knows when the raid's going to drop.
Well, it's not that far away, dude. We're in December.
It's still at best 4 months away. Like
4 months
At worst, not at best.
Whoa.
At worst. Sorry, not best. It could be close to 4 months. They could drop it just before the year 2 GE announcement.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it lands in year 1, they've fulfilled.
I mean, it has to land in year 1.
Yeah,
it has to, because of otherwise they would. I'm sure there's some kind of rules they have to abide by because they said raids when they publicized the game. There has to be a raid within that year and 2 raids within that year.
I just wish
otherwise it's false advertisement and they can get sued for that shit, aren't they?
I would imagine as long as they give it for free, I don't think it matters because it wasn't part of what you paid for, was it? It was never like the raid wasn't part of the exclusivity package for the year 1 pass or anything, was it? So
I don't know.
I think
there's some clause.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you
Santa Claus.
America?
Oh, yeah, on point. Do you think they'll carry on with the raids into the future?
I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah, we heard nothing to suggest that they. Well, we've heard nothing either way, have we? They haven't said yes or no. To be fair, but I would hope
out,
so,
guys. It's the best thing about your game. Pump them out.
Yeah.
How many's Destiny 2 got right now?
7.
7 raids in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's like their big set piece, isn't it?
And there's 2 dungeons and like 2 mini dungeons that are like hidden missions. That are like mini raids, 3 people raids.
Is a dungeon, so a dungeon's a mini raid?
Basically, it's like a 3-player raid.
Like a slightly slimmed down version of a...
So it's like an incursion.
That's the word I wanted, thank you.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so obviously the turnaround on raids is taking a lot longer. Would you prefer to see the comeback of incursions in year 2? Or would you like to stick the course and continue with raids? Because I've seen like a lot of people go, oh, we need incursions back.
But incursions are basically strongholds.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. And I was like, how has no one else thought of this? How has no one else thought that what they've given us with Tidal Basin and the rest of it not already an incursion?
The Tidal Basin and the 2 newest, I can't think of the toughest difficulty setting, but basically the toughest difficulty setting on there was the Zoo Stronghold, wasn't it? And then there was another one, Heroic. Thank you. They're incursion-esque for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
we really fucking enjoyed doing those, didn't we? The last few weeks, so they're pretty decent. Not sure you could argue that the other strongholds would be as good, really. But
I think they need probably, I I want to say updating, but maybe not. Do you want to see incursions come back, Luke? Or would you want to wait until we get a decent raid, something that's honestly challenging to go through? I'm saying that, and we haven't even seen the second raid yet. We don't know what it's like, but
I think at this moment in time, I'd rather them concentrate on getting the second raid as good as possible, which is obviously what they're doing. But I wouldn't want to pull resources away from that to do something else. I mean, maybe in the future, if an incursion would fit somewhere in the gap between an heroic stronghold and like the difficulty of the raid, if you could find a nice balance for an incursion to fit in that sort of skill gap, that'd be nice. You know, if you could have something that was as challenging as the raid for 8 people, for 4 people, great. Because, you know, you can't always get a full, if that's what it needs to be, yeah. I mean, you can't always get a full team together for a raid, kind of. We found that out last weekend, I think it was. We had 6, I think, that were ready to rock and roll, and we struggled to find another 2. So everybody, like the time that elapsed trying to find the other 2, other people had stuff to do, so we kind of lost out and only had 6. So
yeah, it happens.
of course it does. Yeah, you know,
I still don't think they should add matchmaking to it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's something I've seen flying around at the minute. It's like, oh, they need to add matchmaking for the next raid. I don't think that's the case. I think maybe we should start off with the normal raid that we have, and then the following week introduce the discovery raid, not the amount of time that lapsed last time. Because how long was it? Was it 6 weeks or more? I think it was more than 6 weeks, wasn't it?
I can't remember. It feels like it was longer than 6 weeks, but people were asking for it after like 5 minutes, weren't they? I've got 8 friends, I need matchmaking for the raid. Yeah, you won't be able to do it.
But to me, there's enough resources out there. Like, being honest, if we really wanted to raid, we could have found 2 extra people. We just didn't go out of the way to do it.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
I think like the amount of time that's passed since the first raid launched, you could get away with matchmaking now, because I think most people know how to do it. And without sounding like an elitist, maybe they could build a mechanic in that they know your character is, they know your character has tried the raid before, or that you've got so far in the raid before, so you at least know what the basic mechanics are, rather than going in completely blind. And like if we did a matchmaking for the raid now, us 3, and we picked up 5 pugs and none of them knew what to do, that would just be a horrible time for everybody, because we just wouldn't get past the first boss.
But it happens, though. You could do that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to sound like an elitist, but at the same time as not sounding like an elitist, people need to know what they're doing for the raid. Otherwise, you're just going to waste hours of your life killing NPCs over and over and over and over again without making any progress. Yeah,
it happens. I mean, Rob, I know you've been back playing the Destiny raids. How many did you say? There was 7 in Destiny 2. So how many times have you got stuck on any of them, or not at all? And how many of you like pug grouped any of them?
I mean, Destiny raids are a bit different. You need 6 people. But
it's still
sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it takes a little time.
Look, if we wanted to discuss your sex life,
no, but like you. Depending on the quality of player, or
I honestly wanted to know what you would take in that then.
Like experience is a factor. Like I did a raid last week. It only took us 45 minutes. I've done raids that could take up to 2 hours, 3 hours. If people don't know what they're doing, you have to explain, and they take a while to understand. And it's mechanics are hard for some people.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting to kind of get that take on it, because it's been a while since I've done a Destiny raid. So, but I definitely remember those days where you're getting like 1 or 2 people to kind of fill up your group, and you don't know how they're going to be. And then you even get people that say they know what they're doing and have no idea what they're doing.
I did a raid this week. I did in
the cupboard.
I can't remember what it's called. Shit. It was a raid I missed out on because I was playing Division.
You told us the title for this earlier, and I was pretending to listen, and now I wish I was listening.
Yeah, I can't remember what
it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But basically, there was 2 people that had done the raid, and 4 of us hadn't. and we did it in about an hour and a half. And the mechanics for it were basically you had to split into pairs for a lot of it. You were basically paired up and you did certain things within that pair. You had to share a buff around, and it's a brilliant raid. It scares me the fact that some people have 2-manned the whole thing, and we took an hour and a half to do it with 6 of us. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. But the mechanics were brilliant.
But people take on that challenging content, and it's something I think we definitely want to continue to see in the Division 2, isn't it? Because I'll be honest, like Operation Dark Hours for the first Division raid was really fucking good.
They need to they've got a community that likes to speedrun raids, right? They need to indulge that. They need to cater to that.
I still want them to bring out a hard raid. I don't think it needs to be. I don't think
the next raid needs to cater to speedruns, right? They need to understand that, okay, they're going to try and speedrun this. We need to stop them. We need to slow them down. And there has to be time gates. So for certain things, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're kind of increasing the length of time. But like we've said about this before in the podcast, the raid's really good, but when you take it apart, there's nothing in between it at all, is there? Yeah, if you play a Destiny raid, you've got 3 bosses, but there's shit that stops you along the way.
Yeah.
And you might not even be at a boss, but you have to figure out how to go forward. And
yeah, one of the encounters on this new raid I did was literally there was platforms rising in and you had to jump to one, and one person has a buff and one person doesn't have a buff. And they have crystals on these platforms, and you have to shoot these crystals with someone with a buff and one without a buff to destroy it. And you have to progress along these platforms until you get to the end, and it's brilliant.
But yeah, we've discussed Operation Dark Hours. I'm interested to see where they take the next raid. I'm looking forward to it. I wish it'd get here already. I'm sure like the rest of you out there. And I still want a hard mode for Operation Dark Hours. I don't think you need to increase the damage though, like the DPS or create more bullet sponges. I just think you need to change the mechanics slightly. And you'd be away. Like reduce the timer on Buddy and Lucy. Like people are already speedrunning these things. Whether it be harder for them or not, I don't know. But half the timer, or maybe every round on Boomer, you have 4 people have to get the laptops. Well, this is something I'm hoping we'll see in year 2.
Destiny doesn't do that anymore. Like Destiny used to do.
Do they not do that?
No,
anymore?
They put challenges into the raid instead, which gives you an extra chest for loot, which Division could do, I guess. Like imagine doing Razorback, and everyone would have imagine each group of 2 people that are in the circle and defending had to switch around every time, rotate. That would be a challenge. That would be
yeah.
And then you get extra loot at the end of it because of it.
Well, the thing is, you don't even need the extra loot. It would just be making it more difficult because your team, your 8-player raid would then have to be a lot more versatile than it is.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. You wouldn't have set role. If you've got a raid team, you're going to run the same position every time.
I think Bungie moved away from the hardcore versions of the raid because no one, 5% of the population that played Destiny played the raid.
Yeah, I think it's kind of...
So, half of that are going to play the hard raid, if maybe even less than that.
Or complete it.
Yeah.
They'll play it, but
they'll play it, but yeah. That's what I mean, completion.
But that kind of goes hand in hand with the Division where, there's only a certain amount of the population that's ever going to try the raid because either they're not going to be able to find someone.
Got no friends.
Well, it's not that. It's just there is Facebook, there's the 100.io, there's the Division Discord. There's plenty of places out there. You just unfortunately have to go out your way to find these people. I think as you meet new people along the way, you make friends.
one of the reasons why I haven't done a lot of the Destiny raids is because of that. Like, well, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, when you go into a raid and you say you don't know how to do it, there's like that social anxiety. Like, oh well, shit, we have to teach this noob how to fucking play the raid.
Yeah, unless they're open to it, it's finding a group that's obviously open.
Yeah, but that's not
players.
easy to do.
No, well, we know that from our time in Vault of Glass, but we met some nice people along the way that showed us how to do it. Anyway, moving on back to the Division. It was Black Friday. Very, very sneaky there, Rob.
What?
Very, very fucking sneaky.
What? Destiny podcast.
Hey, well, you never know.
You asked me, dude. I was just giving my opinion.
I'm not having a go at you. I did ask you, and it's on my back. That sounds wrong. Black Friday was last week, and basically the Division had a event to kind of go hand in hand with it. I saw a lot of people were trashing it and all the rest of it. But basically they gave people 3 apparel caches and 3 pieces of equipment if you logged in between the dates of the 28th of November to the 5th of December, which is hopefully when the podcast is out. So if you're listening to this and the maintenance has not been performed yet, get on and get your apparel event keys.
Did you guys buy anything for Black Friday?
No. Did you? I
bought some earphones and I bought an SSD.
And
that's it.
Liar.
No, that's it.
You're a fucking liar.
Why am I a liar?
What game did you buy during Black Friday?
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, I did bought Tarkov as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I haven't played yet. I'm scared.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people trashing it. For me, the only thing that would have made the event even better, calm down, is if they basically gave a discount on a lot of the apparel, like the skins and stuff on the store. That would have been cool.
Oh man, if only you were a freaking Ubisoft shill. Could have got that going.
Yes. Okay.
They wouldn't have listened to him.
No,
that's fine. So that lovely piece of content that everyone loves is open this week till Thursday next week.
Because they fucked up.
Yes.
Do you know what made me really laugh on State of the Game this week is they said stuff like, they fixed this bug. Maybe. And then they all started laughing. And I was like, is this our podcast? What the fuck?
Well, I just like they probably get a lot of hate for it, but it's just funny because we find it funny when they say stuff like that. And then they're now laughing at themselves of like, maybe it's fixed. Is it fixed? There was a couple of moments.
It was the alarm thing, isn't it? That's what I was on about. Yeah, they fixed the alarm. I don't even know what alarm they were talking about, but it made me laugh.
See, sometimes when they're talking about bugs and stuff, they need to be deadly serious, don't they? So they don't make the salt worse. But when they're talking about an alarm that's been going off since the start of the game and they've tried to fix it once and claim that they'd fixed it once, perfect time to make a joke about maybe fixing it again. Absolutely fine. Not a problem with that at all. Well played.
I don't know. I could just imagine them there going, right, okay, this bug has been fixed, all serious. And they'd just be like, maybe. Like, just burst out laughing after.
I think they did a good job this week.
Yeah, they did. Kenley College is back. There'll be patch notes soon for some other stuff. They fixed an issue with the Manning National Zoo. They weren't able to trigger the next stage after Locate Emmeline. Fixed an issue that blocked progression in the zoo, not triggering the next objective after planting the C4. Now, there is a holiday event coming up. We're going to talk about it.
Are we?
It's going to be added with title update 6.1, which will be coming out on the 10th of December. There is a maintenance scheduled for next week, and yeah, get ready for it, I guess. A couple of things that it's actually going to fix, not going to just add some stuff. They're going to improve the audio issues. They've fixed the apparel drop issues. They've removed that sweet alarm Rob was on about in the White House. They changed the UI with how loot drops are viewed. Fixes to invisible walls with NPC spawning points. I believe that was like may or may not be fixed. So not completely sure on that one. Negotiator's Dilemma. I think that's another one that they weren't too sure. Negotiator's Dilemma. They've now added a fuse for added visual warning when the grenade drops. So now the grenade will be kind of pinged out at you and you'll have time to react and get out of the way. I believe that was the idea behind it.
Like a normal grenade.
Yes.
Not just, I mean, Luke, I know how much you love this gear set, having played PvP against it. If you want to share your undying love for it, now is your chance.
No.
Get dead, cunts.
But I think it's a good change because it's not that big a nerf because they haven't touched the amount of damage that the grenade does. They've just, like Rob said, turned it into a grenade rather than an RPG, a rocket-propelled grenade.
Yeah,
So-
but I've seen a lot of people basically off the back of not this, but I know Thailander talked about this a little bit on Twitter, that this is something that they were going to be doing. And then someone was like, oh, great, they're changing it for PvP again and blah, blah, blah. It works fine in PvE. And it's like, well, it might not have really been thought of that way in the first place.
People thought it was fine because it was really, really powerful. The fact that they've now balanced it out, people don't like it. Tough fucking shit.
Yeah, but it's funny that we're 9 months into, over 9 months.
No, 9.
Probably 11. 9 months into a game, and people are only just using these things. Do you know what I mean? They're only just using these gear sets like this. It's just funny. It's took that long for people to use it under those circumstances. Thanks for your input, Rob. They've fixed a load of stuff with Cassie.
You're welcome.
They've removed requirements for purchasing items. I assume that's to do with the ivory keys with the hunters and
What we talked about last week, yeah.
Yeah, what we talked about last week.
Whoa.
Gloves.
Yeah, the gloves, the
The
mother
gloves.
gloves.
Mother gloves.
Where you had to do basically. So I assume they're removing the requirements to have certain things done if it's going to be on the vendor list from now on.
I remember them talking about it. I wasn't aware it was definitely coming in 6.1. I'll take your word for it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Fixes for UI for a spawning time and fixes for Cassie's vendor icon not appearing on the map.
Cool.
That's it for either things that they're looking at or stuff that's going to be fixed.
Not a mention of the bug that's in the Daisy at the moment where people
Which-
are spawning with loads of freaking
Specialization. ammo?
Yeah, that one.
No, not yet.
And wall hacks as well. I've seen on Reddit
Yeah.
with specialization ammo.
How's that wine going, Rob?
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
You keep celebrating.
you wait.
Okay, so when a holiday event was announced last week, I'm going to be honest, our thoughts were probably, well, we ain't going to get much. We're definitely getting an apparel event. Right, Luke?
Yep.
But then they basically hyped it up on Twitter this week that they would be talking about an apparel event, which we kind of knew already, a surprise from the dev team, as well as a holiday event. So at that point, we were kind of, what's it going to be? My mind was like, oh, they're going to turn DC, they're going to cover it in snow for like the next 3-4 weeks. I was completely wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
we all said, yeah, you're wrong.
To be fair, I thought the gift was going to be extra stash space, but I was wrong there. as well.
Also, no.
It would have been pretty funny, though. I thought it would have been pretty funny.
what would have
Any?
been funny is if it was temporary extra stash space.
Hey,
You wanted
Stash-
it, you've got it, but it's a holiday event, so it goes away when Santa Claus fucks off again.
no, fuck you. Stash space.
Anything above your stash limit just gets dumped in the bin.
Yeah.
No, deleted.
Randomly chosen by RNGesus. Jesus. Yeah, we'll take this piece and this
All your
piece.
eagle bearers are
and
now
this eagle
gone.
bearer too.
Hey, come on. Stash space is for life, not just for Christmas.
Oh, that was just a setup for that joke, wasn't it?
No, shut up. You drunkard. But we do have a holiday event. It's called Situation Snowball, which starts next Tuesday, the 10th of December. And basically, the Slayer, as you would expect it to be written, is a new gun that will now shoot balls
that shoots
snowballs at NPCs, and you can confuse your opponents. I want to know if that works on in the Dark Zone.
No, I want to know if we can take it into fucking conflict. Yeah.
Everyone's just using
4-man team. Using Slayer.
Okay, so it's a guaranteed drop from the first time from the Hoarder, or as most of you would know as the Loot Goblin. And apparently it sounds like they've upped the chance of you coming across the Loot Goblin in game, possibly for this event.
When they were talking about this, I was like, what the fuck is the Hoarder? Or the Loot Goblin?
Yeah, but I've said to you before, and you're like, what is it? What is it? And you're like, I have no fucking idea. You've literally done this before.
I don't even know what they're on about.
It's basically like one NPC that just appears and then starts, I think he starts dropping shit. Is that right, Luke?
Yeah.
And if you like shoot him, he slowly like drops loot.
I have never experienced that in game whatsoever.
So an NPC that's got an overly sized backpack on his back, and he will actively run away from you.
Yep, 100%. Never seen that ever again.
If you shoot him, if you kill him, he always drops at least one piece of loot. Now, the bit that I didn't know about is what they said on the state of the game, that if you don't kill him and follow him, he will take you to a bunch of ambushed NPCs who are there to ambush you.
You've already killed him too quickly.
Well, yeah, basically.
Well, we
I
do
think
that
most people do, because it's a guaranteed drop.
Plus, he's pretty damn easy to kill as well.
Yeah.
I have 100% never seen this NPC in the game ever.
I disagree.
Definitely heard Mike talk about it, because he calls it the Loot Goblin every time he sees one. And apparently now most of the community do as well. I'm not saying Mike started that trend.
No, not at all. But I believe it comes from like Diablo or something like that. There's like just like
never
this
seen this ever.
I fucking disagree. No, I fucking disagree. I reckon you've seen him. You're just like, oh, cool, NPC, dead.
You probably killed him way faster than you realised, and it was just a loot drop, and you're like,
that is a possibility, but
that guy's got a slightly bigger backpack on. Fuck him.
I believe he's got a V above his head. Is that right?
I couldn't.
Like, instead of a name, I believe it's just a V or something like that.
Couldn't comment on that, to be honest. I don't know.
I can't remember. I feel like it's got like a couple of stars and a V above his head. But yeah. Yes, he's got a vagina above his head. But yeah, you can find the Hoarder in the LZ. Also, a part of this Situation Snowball, there's a holiday care package on its way. That's going to give you 3 pieces of equipment, and you get to dress up your agent with a nice Santa
everyone
hat.
gets that Santa hat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I kind of miss the gingerbread wrapping paper weapon skins from Div 1,
yeah,
but I want the Christmas jumpers back. Luke's just
no, the Christmas jumpers were fine. I didn't like those weapon skins. I thought they were horrible.
No, because the hat was really hard to get in D1. Remember, like you had to grind for shit.
I've got to be honest. I was kind of like, are we going to get Santa or Christmas themed apparel stuff? And I guess after
they can't repeat themselves.
True, but they could have had elves or the Grinch or something.
Fucking Rudolph, man! I'm telling you, the
100%.
deers are in the game already. It's just a fucking little bit of an extra skin on them.
Yeah, but that's just a hat, though, isn't it? Just like one of those headbands of fucking antlers on.
See, Rob's got it. Dead easy.
Now I can't remember, but they did discuss it on the state of the game. But in the Division 1, did they ever release that?
No.
Donnie Darko.
No, they didn't.
Fucking bunny rabbit suit.
No, they didn't.
And they dressed the Loot Goblin up in that when it was still in dev. The dev build.
That was a funny story. I liked that.
Motherfuckers. Like, we were like, cool, next event. Easter's coming around. We're going to get that freaking rabbit costume in the Division 1. Never fucking happened.
No, because that's the time of, like, when they reset everything, isn't it? Because that's like year 1 to year 2 sort of thing.
But they've kind of fully admitted that they've put it in the Division 2, so maybe Easter. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
And you still won't know what the fuck it is that's running around.
No. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? I was literally clueless. I was like, wait. No. What are you on about? Shut up.
Okay, so continuing on with the holiday event, we have kind of guessed it already. There is going to be an apparel event. It's called Silent Night. It runs from December 10th, next Tuesday, through to the 31st of December. Thank you for that rendition there, Rob. Keys can still be used apparently till January the 7th, so make sure to chase them down. The key drop has had the RNG removed. I don't know how much I like this at all.
This fucked me over completely.
Yeah, they've basically fucked the key system again. I can understand why they've done it. But basically, you will get one key for the apparel event every 3 field proficiency caches, or one key for every 5 DZ caches. And you're also able to buy them and gift them to other players. But the reason for doing that is because before it was basically a chance. You'd get like a 50-50 chance if you got one or not. There was no way of knowing.
Yeah, but they changed the chance. They weren't.
Yeah, well, they
that fact, but
it was fine before, wasn't it?
It was like 50-50, and they changed it to like 25%. I guarantee.
Yeah, and then they've now changed it to
33% because that's basically what you're getting.
Yeah, so you've got a slightly higher chance than you have already. Well, no, because it's guaranteed, but you're still. Do you know what I mean? You're still going to be going at the same rate now.
Yeah, 100%.
The only difference is and
they should
it's going to tell you.
They should have just done what I said last week. 100% on each proficiency.
Yeah, I think
it's fucking Christmas. What the fuck are you doing?
We'll have it 1 and 2. Why 3? I can understand. They want people to buy it. That's okay. Yeah, that's it. Because they literally put in the ability to gift purchase keys to other players. Okay. It's just like
service charge.
It's just so annoying. Shout out to Doc. Hopefully it's a bit easier for you to grind this apparel event out after last time. Because I'm pretty sure he grinded it out and then they changed the whole key system afterwards, didn't they? It was like shards or something and they upped it. I don't know. I kind of like the way Destiny does it with the season pass through the XP system. I
Fortnite model.
Yeah, I want the game to go towards that because I think that would be better. Have the apparel event as a season rather than you've got 2 weeks to get it done, 3 weeks to get it done.
Yeah.
Anyway, thoughts on the actual apparel event itself. Which one are you going to be chasing after, boys?
Reaper.
I think that's everyone's. Even Reaper
and
himself.
Harrier, because of the hood.
I was just going to say exactly that. Both the hood ones and the other two can go away.
The other two can just do one. I mean,
the scavenger one
don't get them
horrible.
two first.
The scavenger just looks like a freaking coal miner.
Yep, 100%.
I'd maybe want the mask from the Midnight
yeah, true.
outfit, just because of another mask. But
like, usually, one of these sets will be the final reward, and I'm guessing Reaper's going to be that one after you get everything else.
I don't know. I kind of like the vest on the Midnight one.
Shut up.
Shut your face.
The only thing bad about the Reaper is the knee pads. They look like way too big.
I think they need to be bigger.
And on the shoulders.
Well, you want them to be on
knee
the
pads
shoulders.
on the shoulders.
It's not a fucking Titan, dude. That's the only reason you want that shit.
Damn it.
So, Luke, you're going after Harrier and Reaper.
Yeah.
But I believe we discussed this before the show. Chances are the Reaper is going to be locked behind the other 3 sets. What do you reckon?
that's what Rob's just said. Were you not listening?
Oh, did you? No, I missed that. I don't listen to Rob as it is. Sorry.
What a cunt.
confirmed.
I love you. I love you too. Are you guys going to be grinding this out, or is it just cool to look at?
Yeah, I might jump in.
I think that you're the only one that's actually going to get this done with the amount of time you spend gaming compared to everyone else. So
Thanks.
Chances are you'll be able to get this
Depends
done.
if I get Star Wars completed in time.
That's fine. It's just another £15 out of your bank account.
Yeah, no, right.
You might as well have bought it at that point.
Yeah.
Pretend like you're not getting a Christmas bonus that you could take 15 quid out of for
I'm
another
not.
month's worth of
I'm
EA.
not getting a Christmas bonus.
We don't get Christmas.
Bullshit.
We don't, dude.
Well, I don't. He probably does.
It's dependent on the fucking company's
profit.
and we ain't made
Yes.
money this year. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, because of where Rob works.
Yeah. It's my fault.
And I know he sits there watching YouTube videos all day.
Oh,
so
shit.
I ain't getting a bonus anytime soon. Anyway, moving on. Are you guys pretty happy with the holiday event so far?
Yeah. I mean,
To say we
it
were
was
expecting
more than what
nothing.
we expected.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I mean, to be fair, that's like 33% of what we expected anyway. I quite like the gun, I'll be honest. The Tommy gun.
Yeah, I'm interested in what that's going to be. Whether that's going to disappear after the event or whether we're going to keep it. It's going to be a meme weapon.
But yeah, basically, out of nowhere, they announced that the dev team had been working on
Oh yeah,
something on the side.
I completely forgot about this.
Those cheeky little devs.
Yeah, this was the gift for the community.
Gift that keeps giving.
It wasn't stash space, unfortunately, that they were going to take away after 3 weeks, but you never know. It could happen.
They found something fun to do with those spare character slots that everybody's got.
Speak for yourself, dude.
I
I'm
wouldn't
using all
say
of
that.
mine.
No, you're
There-
not.
there-
You're about to lose one.
There is a lot of people losing their shit at the minute over the fact that they're not going to be adding an extra character slot for this, but there we go. But yeah, out of nowhere, they basically announced that there is going to be a hardcore mode coming to the Division 2. So basically, you can play the game, but when you die, that is it. You start right back at the White House lawn. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
I'm on board.
To me, it's like the Dark Souls of the Division, which is what I've always wanted, except there's less bonfires.
Can I just give my 2 bits for this, please?
Do you hate this idea?
No, I don't.
I'm really surprised at that.
I'm not going to play it.
Because you got 4 characters.
No, I just don't like modes like this. But that's just my opinion. But people, like, at the beginning of the state of the game, they say, oh, we're not bringing survival back. But in my eyes, this is just
Hardcore survival.
long-term survival, right? I mean, there's no, like, there's no loot incentive. And there's no, like, nothing, no cold or nothing. But you're essentially, like, survival was a game mode where you start with nothing and you try and extract, right? This would be obviously not the same, but
It's almost the equivalent without the additional mechanics, isn't it?
It's
But,
what,
I mean,
it's
as
what
they said-
Mike's been asking for a long time. It's Survivor World.
this
Tier,
is
isn't
what
it?
the
Almost.
Division 1 was supposed to be from the beginning. Was that, am I right? In saying
Yeah,
sort
but
of?
without permadeath. Like, that's it. You lose your character. Like, you level up 1 to 30, you get through the world tiers, you go in a dark zone, you get fucking shot. You're dead. You're done. Character's gone. Start again.
I love it.
You died.
I really like this idea. It's so simple, but it's really got me quite excited to try it out.
I'm definitely going to try it out.
Yeah.
No, you're not, Rob.
No, I'm not.
I know you don't like game modes like this.
No, I'm not going to devote fucking 200 hours into a player that's just going to get deleted. No, fucking way.
Well, this is one of the things like I've heard people talking about. There's no incentive to play the game mode. To me, it would just be the accomplishment of getting to like level 30 without dying.
Yeah, the accomplishment and the challenge that goes with it of getting to level 30 or getting as far as you want to get. Let's say you give yourself 10 hours to play without dying, or 20 hours, or do you get to level 30, whatever. It's like a personal challenge, isn't it? I think and I'll be careful what I say, because they've stressed very carefully that this is a beta mode that they've put out before it's finished, so that people can try it as a gift. Like Mike said, there was a side dev team that were working on it. They said it's good enough for people to try. Here, have it for Christmas. What I will say is, and it might come in the future, but I'm saying it anyway, is I think they've missed a trick in terms of little bits of cosmetics or commendations or something that go with it to say what you've done, like to give you something in game as an achievement for, you got to level 10 without dying, you got to level 30 without dying, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but so far, the only cosmetic that you get is a YOLO baseball cap for reaching level 2 in the game. There's nothing beyond that, but it's a beta, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. I was really excited about it. They announced it as a beta, which to me says there's this gap at the minute with content, and they're trying to fill it. That's how I'm kind of viewing this. It's content. If you don't want to play it, you don't have to play it.
100%.
If you don't like it, if the incentive there is not good enough, then don't play it. I've seen a lot of people complaining, "Oh, I've got 4 character slots. I'm hardcore enough. I don't need to play it," sort of thing. And I'm like, they should have given us a 5th character slot. Do you really need 4 characters? I've got 1. I've got 1, and I've managed to do the same as everyone else.
I've got 2, but I honestly can't tell you the last time I logged in on my second one.
I've got 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Half, what, level 15?
Was it some sort of magician trick that went horribly wrong?
My 4th one is just a mule. It's got to a certain level, enough to carry certain things.
But yeah, apparently everything is accessible in the game. Like every game mode, you can play Kenley College on hardcore mode. You can be able to play the raid,
Rob,
the LZ, the DZ, everything.
You need to play it so that we can all get level 30 hardcore characters and do the raid.
Yeah, it's not needed.
Can you imagine the matchmaking
we got
for
through
that?
the raid without no one dying? Imagine doing that. Imagine
and
spending
one person goes down.
a good 200 hours to get to that point, because that's how long it would take to get a decent enough build to get a raid build going. Maybe more than that.
I feel like Luke's on board.
I am, but I know what's coming, because you'd get... How angry would you be
And
if you...
Fucking
you
Lucy
wiped?
just spins and you're dead.
Or not even that. Let's say you actually got to Razorback and then you couldn't kill a Chungus in time or whatever, or they patched the current armor weakness on the certain area of the Chungus. You couldn't kill them fast enough, and that's the bit that kills you with the wipe mechanic.
The fucking bombs.
Yeah.
And then the whole fucking team's wiped in one hit, and you're gone.
The whole team, all of you out. Fuck. Everybody smashes their computers up, and that's
200
it.
hours you have to burn in the game just to get back to that point.
Dude, it would not just be you pissed. It'd be another 7 players who are like, well, fuck my life.
That'd be it. It's eight computers would instantaneously sit on fire.
They said they're open to feedback. Speed up the fucking XP progression. 100%. Just speed it up. Double it. Triple it, maybe.
It's not a bad shout. I think my only feedback is, can we just have this, but for the Dark Zone, please? That's it. Separate Dark Zone. You go in level 1.
Well, so you make a Dark Zone character and an open world character that are both permadeath.
No. When you log off, that's it. You're done. But you go in, you collect loot. It's like gear score or whatever. I want the equivalent of the survival Dark Zone in this as a separate Dark Zone, like hardcore.
No,
you're done.
You're wrong.
Yeah, because you hate those games modes.
No,
We've talked about this
because
before.
PvP is trash in this game. You just go in, die to someone that's overpowered, rage quit, and never play it ever again.
But that's all that's going to happen if you play it hardcore, isn't it? It's not going to be any different. I'm not on about you, but if you're a player that wants to play in the DZ, that's going to be some stressful fucking shit, isn't it?
When can you access the DZ? You have to be level 30, right?
No.
No?
You have to
do the missions.
There's a certain person you have to talk to in the Dark Zone, isn't there? In the Dark Zone, idiot.
I
in the
thought you
White
had
House.
to be level 30.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think you do. You can do it.
You have to unlock her in the boo, though, right? What level is that? It's not low. It's like 25-ish.
No, I want to say it's lower than that, because in Division 1 you used to be able to go in the Dark Zone pretty early, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Well, I know it's not the same, but I'm just saying it would be quite a removal from the first game to make it that higher level. I honestly can't remember. You might be right, Rob. But
I think it's between, it's like 19 to 25 or something, I think.
It'd be interesting because
that's like 50 hours, dude.
But the thing, not necessarily, because the community's pretty damn good at like speed running stuff. You've already said that, so the community will find ways.
XP is XP. You can't speed run that.
Can you get additional XP?
You can get additional XP attributes on gear.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. But then that's RNG whether you get those drops.
True.
Yeah, but it's also a case of these are things that you have to take into your account when you put your build together in hardcore mode. Do you want to get through it easily by, I don't know, stacking health and armor, or
like Solid said in the Set of the Game chat, I will pat anyone on the back, the first person to get fucking Eagle Bearer in hardcore
can you
mode.
imagine?
Someone's going to do it though.
Someone is going to get a lot of YouTube videos views, and I will pat them on the back, like proverbially.
I'll give them a shout out on the podcast. Whoever does it first.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, not that they'll give a shit that they're getting that, but I'll do it anyway.
But yeah,
keeping you awake, Mike.
Sorry.
Continue.
So yeah, just to finish up there. So there's no access to your stash. You'll get access to your vanity items, and anything earned in hardcore mode will not be transferable to other characters and will be lost upon death.
Missing a trick there. Should be caches. Akin to a survival mode.
What, and have like, do you want to?
You could get Mike.
It's a beta.
Like choice. You can either have this cache with your hardcore mode, or you can send it to your normal stash.
Depends what it is, though. If it's
RG.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea, but permanent death that's brutal. But then people do it in Diablo, didn't they? People have permanent
People
death.
do it in real life as well.
Wow. Thank you, Rob. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. I think on that note, we better go, Luke.
Yeah, I think so.
Robert.
Hello.
Seeing as you're being so graceful.
Show, by the way.
You're saying that an hour and 10 minutes in. Fuck. You should have said that at the start. Seeing as you're being so graceful today, can you tell the listeners where to find us?
You can find us over at SITREP Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as our personal accounts. Send any questions or feedback for the show to sitrep.radiopod@gmail.com. Or you can find us over on Discord. The link is in the show notes. We want to hear your thoughts on the news and the topics we cover, so be sure to leave a comment and join the discussion in any of those places. Luke?
Please leave a review of the show using the podcast app of your choice. We genuinely enjoy reading them all. The feedback is excellent, and at the end of the day, it does actually help other people to find our lovely little show. If you listen all the way to the very end of the podcast, you'll hear all the juicy details about the other awesome shows that are available on the Mash Those Buttons network. Thank you.
We do live stream as often as we can, so if you're interested in dropping by and chatting with us whilst we play The Division and some other games, you can find us all over at twitch.tv/SITREP Radio. We have been SITREP Radio agents, and we will catch you next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sequence complete. Security protocols deactivated. Server data replaced and CPU destroyed. Terminating connection in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete.